What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be ranking all of the Umbral based spells. Now honestly, every single one of these are actually pretty viable. If you checked out my videos on the Radiant and Inferno based spells, there are plenty of them that were just kind of shit and just not viable at all. But with these ones, they're actually all pretty decent. Now obviously there are going to be some that are better than others, and probably some do need a buff, but I wouldn't really focus too hard on how I rank them. I would actually focus more on where I place them in the tier list itself. But in terms of Umbral builds or Radiants and Inferno type builds in general, I don't really care for them much because one, there's not many weapon options out there, and two, I don't really like wither damage that much unless I'm pairing it alongside something like poison, because with my type of playstyle I'm very aggressive and I'm getting hit a whole bunch, to which I'm just not going to benefit off the damage that I'm actually doing. But one good thing about the Radiance and Inferno type builds is that you're more likely to reach the minimum requirements for all those different types of Radiance and Inferno spells. So if you actually have the rings equipped that actually can cast those spells with different types of catalysts, so you actually can make some pretty decent builds out of this build type right here. But yeah, that out of the way, let's just get started. Starting up at the bottom, number 19, we have Blood Harvester. Now this is a melee,
and it's also going to inflict Ignite, which is really good, right? And wait guys, the synergy doesn't stop there, because the next weapon we're running is the Rosemont Sword, and this particular weapon scales off of everything. It scales off of Strength, Agility, Radiance, and Inferno. So wherever we dump stats on, this weapon is going to be hitting harder, because remember, we dumped about 20 points into Strength, we dropped 25 points into Inferno, 25 into Radiance, and we have, you know, Agility at 7, need 5. And all of these are based off B rating, and the cool thing is that the Radiance and Inferno is a B plus rating, so that's going to be really solid for us. But the reason we're using this weapon is because this weapon applies Wither. So right off the bat, just off our sword, just off our second sword, we are being able to apply Bleed, Ignite, and Wither. So that's 3 elements right there. Now, where are we going to be getting the additional element? That's going to be coming from our catalyst, which currently right now we're losing the lost catalyst. You could use this one. This is the best catalyst in the game. But if you don't have this catalyst, you can use any other catalyst that lets you use Umber Casting, which could be this one right here. This one's pretty good. You can pick this one up from the guy that sells, lets you upgrade your lamp. The Charm one, which is not a bad. It's a B scaling. It still does pretty solid damage. But you're going to want to make sure, that you try to get this one that I have here, because this is the best one. So what we're wanting as far as spells are concerned, there's only 3 that are going to be your main bread and butter. You're going to want to watch the Umbral Orb. The reason why we use the Umbral Orb, this is just to allow us to fight from range. So there's an enemy pretty far, this is what we use, especially, those bow and arrow guys as we get later in the game. The next one we use is called the Lingering Despair. This is actually a really good one. This is mostly for bossing. As you saw me kill the boss here, I threw that right in front of his feet. It blows up and applies Wither. It's actually really good, because that is called the Pendant of the Burn. And by that allowing us to do, it's allowing us to inflict the burn, which we're doing with our sword, and when the sword inflicts the burn, it inflicts Ignite at the same time. The last ring we're running is the Queen Verna 2 ring, and what this is going to allow us to do is going to allow us to regain health over time. This is really important because it keeps us that survivability. These are what are you able to put in our Umbral app. Now, one thing you want to apply the darkness, so this, because it's your chart and you're doing X, and pretty much with, which makes chart 5 with blood. Inferno. How is this build synergizing with everything? One of the first weapons we're using here, guys, is the Bloodlust. About this weapon, Inferno, which is as, and we just call the effect the knock. So what this is allowing us.
The Abbey is the only home I've ever known. It pains me to see it now. And sisters who... But I take comfort in knowing that accept those who Our holy work continues, Lampic. Let Aureus's will be done.
Ah, you again.
I help you. You pay me. Just be sure to make good on your... If you don't, and neither of us want.
You, with all the assistance I've given you so far, each time you returned the favor and I was minding my own business by some barbarian with a hammer. Morak, he fled when he saw he was known. Only now do I realize I must have dropped my book of lineage. I won't have proof of my birthright lying disrespected in the dirt somewhere. Find it and bring it. Come on, get to it! Come on, get to it!
Hello guys, Lynn here, back with another large and to Winterberry, the elevator. From here, it's in an area close to where you fight Paeta, but you can't access it until you go through Upper Kalrath Plaza, the section after the cistern where you take the elevator up behind the Skin Stealer boss. Make sure that you've done Byron and Winterberry's quest as well before you get inside of this elevator. Make sure that you've done Byron and Winterberry's quest as well before you get inside of this elevator, as it will become missable. Going through the Upper Kalrath Plaza here will eventually lead back to Skyrest Bridge, and you open the door here where the book is. But the book won't show up until you reach a certain point of the story, so keep playing until it does. I'm not sure exactly the point where it does show up, but just to make sure you don't go too far, make sure that you come back here before defeating the Judge Cleric just in case. So here is the book. It's rewarded for soul flaying the Stigma. you can get it back to Andreas in the Skyrest Bridge once you pick it up. Lastly guys, play the story until you reach back to Upper Calrath Plaza to reach Bremma's Castle. This is after you've defeated the Judge Cleric, not before, as nothing will happen when you get here. Travel backwards through the plaza until you reach Andreas of Ebb, who is going to offer to help you fight the Light Reaper. It doesn't matter if you die here or not when he's in your game, just make sure you speak to him before the fight. In fact, it's probably better to die here and not finish the fight with him, because the Light Reaper is tied to several other quests, one including summoning Kukujin, and another when you summon Paladin Isaac. So it's probably better to do it with those NPCs rather than Andreas of Ebb. After you defeated the Light Reaper, you can return to a vestige, head back to the arena, and in the next section, Andreas of Ebb will attack you. You can defeat him to finish his questline, and you will get his unique gear as well. Guys, that's it for another Lords of the Fallen NPC mission walkthrough. Like and subscribe to see more of them, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Everyone, Lunar here, back with another guide video. While I've been playing through the Lords of the Fallen and making guides for the game's side quests, Lords of the Fallen is incredibly complicated, and every side quest is missable, and they are also tied to the game's endings. But each side quest also has unique rewards, including weapons, armors, and other gear that you can't get any other way. Plus there are trophies and achievements tied to these side quests, so they're all worth doing, but each are very easy to miss. If you miss one stage, then of course you cannot go back because there's no way to reload your save. In this video then, we're going over the side quest called Moving On, which involves helping out Byron and Winterberry. It's not the first side quest you start, but it is the first one you can finish in game. Let's take a look at how to do the mission. First, you simply need to talk to Byron when you encounter him. You will first come across him at Pilgrim's Perch in front of the vestige of Blind Agatha. At this point, he will not formally introduce himself, but you just have to make sure you exhaust all of his dialogue options. In fact, for every NPC, make sure you exhaust all the dialogue options. Simply continue on with the story until you reach Forsaken Fen. Once you reach Forsaken Fen and activate the vestige of the lake, you will find Byron standing next to it again.
Having a decorated nose,
After a long journey from Forsaken Fen, you will encounter an angry Byron at Sunless Skian. Next, the center upcoming. But it's defeated, he drops the skins is before you do that is, and you have, and then you can also get about the rebirth chrysalis from her as well, which is good. You can travel back to Byron and inform him about the pendant's whereabouts. Travel back to Winter into inside the secret area where you freed the tortured prisoner. I have another video on that, so you can check that out. But you could talk with them to get the Umbral Eye of Earthegg as a reward. This gives you a 30% chance increase in getting rewards when you're in Umbral, and at this point you will also unlock your achievement or trophy. Talk with Winterberry as well, then head back and reset.
What is going on, guys? Shumble Gaming with a quick Lords of the Fallen video. If you're like me and are getting lost after Judge Cleric, the game gave you a quick cutscene of where to go, but once you go to Upper Calrath, but when you get here, the door is going to be locked with an Umbral entity, and I got lost here for quite a little bit trying to figure out where exactly to go back to. You're actually supposed to go back to Skyrest Bridge and then go through the bridge where you first fought Pieta. You also came back through here another time in the game as well. And then when you get to the backside of this bridge, there will be a stigma here if you want it. But after that, you're going to go through the bridge. There will be a stigma here if you want it. But after that, you're going to go through the door to the left. You're going to progress through that path for just a little bit. You're going to fight a mini boss. You're then going to get to this battlefield, and you're going to fight a main boss. Keep this spoiler free. You're you're going to fight a mini boss. You're then going to get to this battlefield and you're going to fight a main boss. Keep this spoiler free, and I won't tell you what bosses those are. But then after that, you can go back around and you can get to that door on the other side. Make sure you soul play that thing up there before you go to the right, because you're going to have another boss battle there. So you make sure you unlock this door to the left so you have that vestige. Hope this video did prove helpful. Appreciate it like it did. And I guess I'll do it today. Game the game trying to full in the games. There will be a stigma here if you're going to progress, but after that you're going to go through the door to the left. You're going to progress through that path for just a little bit. You're going to fight a mini boss. You're then going to get to this battlefield and you're going to fight a main boss. Keep this a little bit further to the left. You're going to progress through that path for just a little bit. You're going to fight a mini boss. You're then going to get to this battlefield and you're going to fight a main boss. Keep this spoiler free, and I won't tell you what bosses those are. But then after that, you can go back around and you can get to that door on the other side. Make sure you soul play that thing up there before you go to the right, because you're going to have another boss battle there. So you make sure you unlock this door to the left until you have that vestige. Hope this video did prove helpful. Appreciate it like it did, and hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thanks.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're gonna test if any
and how to free the tortured prisoner who is a secret vendor. Let's get into it. First,
As you can see, I'm for honor. As you can see, for honor.
You be on your way, lamb, till the day at this.
I won't make the same mistake. Another fed to the void. You don't have the metal to carry them.
After defeating Judge Cleric the Radiant Sentinel, there is absolutely no clear way for you to go, so I'm going to show you exactly how to progress the game after you've defeated this boss. The game does want you to go to Upper Calrath, but the way you're going to get there is a little bit different because you are going to find that you are completely locked out of it and need to do a few things in order to progress. You're going to head all the way back to Sky Rest and make your way to small to a level all the way boss here, so just be ready for that, but you're going to continue on after beating the boss all the way into Upper Calrath on this route, and then you're going to need to go into Umbral and use your lamp on the Umbral entity that is right up there over the gate, and then you will be able to open up the Calrath door. After resting at the vestige, go ahead and walk through this door, and then you can progress.
Pilgrim's Perch, you can head into the main area here and head up the stairs on the right to find a dungeon of sorts with a mini-boss called Scourged Sister Delith. It's a tough boss fight because the flail is really tough to parry and it can also hit you even if you have your shield raised. But like most boss fights, just keep your distance and heavy attacks when you can, whenever the enemy has a break in their attack. Defeating her will give you the Scourged Sister Flail and Scourged Sister Garb. Next, you're going to follow the perch all the way to the end and you will come across the door and Sky Rest Bridge key. All you need to do is come through here and you must umbral and you can drop down.
This land is overflowing to offer you also. They are already conflicted. This land is overflowing to offer you also. They are already conflicted. You serve a higher purpose, Crusader. To strive in darkness.
That stone. When I was a girl at the Orphan Fire. The Abbey is the only home. It pains me, sisters who but I take comfort. Accept those. The Abbey is the only. It pains me to sisters who but I take comfort. Accept those who.
I help you. Just be sure to make.
Having a decorator's no.